echoes of courage, untold tales from the trenches. These are the stories that history books often overlook, the personal accounts that paint a vivid picture of life in the trenches. The Great War, a maelstrom of mud, blood, and steel. It was a conflict that reshaped the world, leaving an indelible mark on the hearts and minds of those who lived through it. History remembers the generals, the battles, the devastating losses. The grand strategies and the monumental clashes are well documented. Yet, in the heart of this global conflict, ordinary men and women performed extraordinary acts of courage. Their bravery often went unnoticed, their sacrifices uncelebrated. Their stories, often untold, whisper to us from the trenches, reminding us of the enduring power of the human spirit. These whispers carry the weight of their experiences, their fears, and their hopes. These are tales of resilience, of compassion, and of unwavering bravery in the face of unimaginable horrors. This is their story, a story of human endurance and the bonds forged in the crucible of war. These were not superhuman figures, but ordinary individuals thrust into extraordinary circumstances. They faced the same fears and uncertainties as anyone would. They were farmers, teachers, shopkeepers, transformed by the fires of war. Each had a story, a life, a family waiting for them back home. Their tales deserve to be told, their sacrifices remembered, for it is through their stories that we understand the true cost of war. For in their bravery, we find inspiration. Their actions, though often unsung, echo through the ages, reminding us of the potential for heroism within us all. In their resilience, we discover the strength within ourselves. Their legacy is not just one of war, but of the enduring human spirit that rises above adversity. The unsung savior of the Somme. John Cridlin, a young private from Manchester, found himself on the front lines of the Somme. He was just one of many who had answered the call to serve, leaving behind the familiar streets of his hometown for the muddy, war-torn fields of France. The air crackled with tension, the earth trembled under constant bombardment. The relentless artillery fire created a nightmarish landscape where every step could be your last. Amidst the chaos, John noticed a group of wounded soldiers stranded in no man's land, their cries for help swallowed by the deafening roar of artillery. The sight was harrowing, a stark reminder of the brutal reality of war. Their desperate pleas for assistance were almost inaudible, lost in the cacophony of battle, but John heard them, and he knew he had to act.
Driven by an instinctive urge to help, I defied orders and crawled out into the maelstrom. The fear was palpable, but the thought of leaving my comrades behind was unbearable. Bullets whizzed past me, explosions ripped the earth apart, the ground shook with every blast, and the air was thick with smoke and the smell of gunpowder. Yet I pressed on, my only thought the safety of my comrades. Each movement was a struggle, but the determination to save them gave me strength.
One by one, he dragged his wounded comrades to safety, shielding them with his own body. His actions were nothing short of heroic, a testament to his bravery and selflessness. Shielding them with his own body, he moved through the battlefield, a beacon of hope amidst the devastation. John's act of valor did not go unnoticed. His fellow soldiers looked on in awe, inspired by his courage and determination. He was awarded the Victoria Cross, the highest military decoration for bravery in the face of the enemy. This prestigious honor recognized his extraordinary heroism. His story, however, goes beyond the medal. It is a story of human spirit, of the bonds forged in the crucible of war. It speaks of a spirit of selflessness, a refusal to abandon his fellow soldiers, even when faced with certain death. John's legacy is a reminder of the courage and sacrifice of those who fought in the Great War, and the enduring power of human compassion in the darkest of times. Facing the barrage, a testament to resilience. Life in the trenches was a constant test of human endurance. The deafening roar of artillery, the ever-present threat of sniper fire, the suffocating stench of death and decay, all took their toll on the bravest of souls. For Emily Hobhouse, a British humanitarian, the plight of these men became her personal crusade. Appalled by the conditions in the prisoner of war camps, she campaigned tirelessly for their humane treatment.
I braved enemy fire, crossed battle lines and confronted authorities, all for the sake of bringing a flicker of hope to those who had lost all else.
A conscientious objector's courage. Not all heroes wore uniforms or carried weapons. Some fought their battles armed with compassion and a steadfast belief in the sanctity of human life. Men like Norman Cliff, a conscientious objector who refused to participate in the killing. Branded a coward by some, Norman chose a different path of courage. He volunteered as a stretcher bearer, risking his life on the front lines to rescue the wounded, both friend and foe alike.
I faced ridicule, scorn, and the very real danger of being shot by my own side. Yet I persevered, driven by an unwavering commitment to my principles and a profound empathy for all those caught in the crossfire.
In the Argonne Forest, amidst the fog of war and the deafening clash of arms, a young American soldier named Cher Ami became an unlikely hero. The dense fog and relentless gunfire created a nightmarish landscape where every step could be your last. Yet in this chaos, a small feathered hero emerged. Part of the U.S. Army Signal Corps, Cher Ami was a homing pigeon, entrusted with carrying vital messages across enemy lines. These pigeons were the lifeline of communication, often the only hope for soldiers cut off from their units. Cher Ami, with his keen sense of direction and unwavering determination, was one of the best.
During the Meuse-Argonne offensive, the Lost Battalion, a group of American soldiers, found themselves trapped and surrounded by German forces. The situation was dire, with no food, water, or ammunition, and the enemy closing in from all sides. The soldiers were exhausted, their spirits waning as hope seemed to slip away. Their situation seemed hopeless, their cries for help going unanswered. The radio lines were cut, and every attempt to send a runner ended in tragedy. The men were on the brink of despair, their only chance of survival resting on a wing and a prayer. In a desperate bid to escape annihilation, they entrusted their fate to Cher Ami, their last hope of salvation. With a message detailing their dire situation, they released the brave pigeon into the sky, praying for a miracle.
Dodging bullets and braving a barrage of enemy fire, Cher Ami flew through the hailstorm, the message capsule dangling from his leg. The sky was filled with smoke and shrapnel, but Cher Ami pressed on, driven by an instinct to survive and deliver his precious cargo. He was hit, feathers flying, yet he continued his flight. Despite the pain and injury, Cher Ami's resolve never wavered. His small body bore the brunt of the attack, but his spirit soared higher than ever. Reaching his destination, wounded but undeterred, he delivered the message, enabling the rescue of the Lost Battalion. Cher Ami's bravery and determination saved nearly 200 men, a testament to the incredible bond between soldiers and their wing comrades. His legacy lives on as a symbol of hope and courage in the face of insurmountable odds. For Lieutenant Adrien Carton de Wiart, the war was a relentless test of his physical and mental fortitude. Shot in the face, hand, stomach, and leg, he lost an eye and was left with a permanent limp. Yet his spirit remained unbroken.
Captured and held as a prisoner of war, Carton de Wiart refused to be broken. He made 5 daring escape attempts, once even tunneling out of prison using a makeshift shovel. His determination to regain his freedom, his refusal to accept defeat, made him a legend among his fellow prisoners.
Carton de Wiart's story is a testament to the indomitable spirit that resides within us all. It reminds us that even in the darkest of times, when all hope seems lost, courage and resilience can light the way towards freedom. These stories, though diverse in their details, share a common thread: the transformation of ordinary individuals into heroes. Thrust into the crucible of war, they faced their fears and discovered within themselves a wellspring of courage they never knew existed. They were not immune to fear. They felt the same primal urge to flee, the same instinct for self-preservation. Yet, in those moments of crisis, they chose to act, to put the needs of others before their own. They discovered that true courage is not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. Scars of war, embers of hope. The heroes of World War I returned home forever changed by their experiences. They carried with them the physical and emotional scars of war, the memories of fallen comrades, the nightmares that haunted their sleep. Yet, amidst the pain and loss, they also carried within them the embers of hope, the unwavering belief in the goodness of humanity. They had seen the best and worst of mankind, and they emerged from the crucible of war with a profound appreciation for the preciousness of life. The enduring legacy lessons in courage. The stories of these World War I heroes are not relics of a bygone era. They are timeless reminders of the potential for greatness that resides within us all. They teach us that courage knows no boundaries of gender, race, or social standing. It is a universal language spoken through acts of selflessness, compassion, and resilience. These stories challenge us to examine our own lives, to ask ourselves what we are willing to stand up for, what sacrifices we are willing to make for the greater good. They remind us that even in the face of adversity, we have the power to choose courage over fear, hope over despair. Lest we forget keeping their memory alive. As time marches on, it is our duty to ensure that the stories of these heroes are not forgotten. Their sacrifices paved the way for the freedoms we enjoy today. Their courage serves as a beacon of inspiration for generations to come. We owe it to them to remember their names, to share their stories, to honor their legacy. Through books, films, documentaries, and acts of remembrance, we keep their memory alive, ensuring that their sacrifices were not in vain. A testament to the human spirit. The untold stories of World War I heroes are a testament to the enduring spirit of humanity. They remind us that even in the darkest of times, light can emerge from the shadows. They inspire us to embrace courage, to act with compassion, and to never give